Well, there is a good chance you've heard of seasonal affective disorder, more commonly known as SAD, essentially as being affected by the weather. And traditionally, it's something that is associated with the cold, dreary weather during the winter months. And that kind of makes sense. What might come as a surprise is that we can also suffer from summer depression. And to explain and explore this in some more detail, I'm joined by Brisbane-based counsellor and the CEO of the Centre for Men and Families Australia, Richard Fay. Always a pleasure, Richard.
And good to be with you, Timothy.
Let's start by acknowledging that some of us will never have heard of the fact that there is such a thing as summer depression. So I guess, can you tell us a bit more about it and specifically what causes it?
Well, the winter one is easy to explain, and that is the sun pumps out a whole lot of vitamin D. And in those places where there isn't a lot of sunshine or a lot of daylight, or it's very cold out, people huddle indoors, and so they don't get enough vitamin D, and that affects mood. So that's a winter-based one. The summer-based one is strangely the same, in the sense that because it's so hot out and I don't like sweating and it's clammy, if I live in a particularly hot climate, such as Queensland or anywhere north of about 30 degrees south or north of the equator, I don't want to do a lot of strenuous exercise, so I avoid the sun because, of course, I don't want to get skin cancer. And so, again, I can miss out on vitamin D. I do become sedentary. The more sedentary I become, more my body stores fat, and of course, the less energy I have, and so on it goes. It becomes a vicious cycle.
And men are generally more susceptible to this than women. Why is that?
Well, the simple reason that men are far more likely to be outdoors with their work. It's more likely that a man is going to be involved in physical labour, and so he's going to be exposed, and he has to wear high vis these days, which of course is sensible, but high vis is warm. It gets even hotter underneath all of those layers. Just ask anyone listening to this who has to wear that. He'll know what I'm talking about, or she will know what I'm talking about. So yes, men are therefore more prone to it because they're more likely to experience the fatigue, the exhaustion, the energy-sapping weather that we get in summer.
I'm talking with Richard Fay about summer depression. Richard, what are the generic signs that might indicate we might be struggling with summer depression?
Ordinarily, it is a listlessness or a lack of motivation to do anything you don't have to do. And so you stop cleaning up the house, you watch more TV, you just lie around, you don't initiate social contact. You aren't sleeping as well, and part of the reason for that, of course, is our ideal sleeping temperature is around about 18, 19 degrees. Well, the minimums in Queensland at night are normally up around 23, 24, 25. And yes, a ceiling fan can help, but an air conditioner can help a lot more, and sometimes it's worth just turning the thing on at night just so you get a good night's sleep. The other sign is a frustration. So you find road rage is greater during summer months. You're sitting in the sweltering car and the sweltering heat in peak hour traffic, and you're more likely to get frustrated because you are powerless over your environment. And of course, the other thing is that it's expectation. It's summer. I should be happy. This should be a wonderful time. I should be having a ball. Why aren't I feeling this way? Everyone else seems to be. All those kids are out off school, partying and having fun, and all I'm doing is working. And so that can create the frustration as well. Okay,
so some things we can do to counteract these feelings of summer depression if we feel like we're going down that track?
Move to Hobart. Quite seriously, one of the things is, as I mentioned, air conditioning. Make sure you are getting enough sleep. Turn that ceiling fan on. Make sure that you've got good ventilation in your bedroom if you can't get air conditioning. Do whatever you can to make sure you can get sleep on weekends. Take naps if you can. Just a 20, 30-minute nap can really help. Continue to do the things that you enjoy doing, but do them around the shoulders of the day. So do them between 5 and 7 a.m. and 5 and 7 p.m. So while there's still enough daylight, but the sun's not going to burn you, it's not quite as hot, take the dog for a walk, go for a bike ride, but don't do it in the middle of the day. Don't kill yourself. Do it when it's more relaxing. You may not be able to do much about your work environment if you work outdoors, but you can manage it simply by doing things differently. Okay,
some great advice there with regards to summer depression. My special guest has been Richard Fay. Richard is a Brisbane-based counsellor, the CEO of the Centre for Men and Families Australia, and of course you've probably heard Richard on air at 96.5 with the Secrets from the Shed series. Details at centreformenaustralia.org.au, richardfay.com.au, and Richard, an absolute pleasure. Thanks for that. We will talk soon.
Thank you.